Pete, what's a lesson from the first two games? Two big leads, and then they come back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to handle those situations better, but I think the silver lining is we built 3 and 4-0 leads. So we played some very good hockey for long stretches against them. I thought tonight, was better than game one. We did most of the things that we wanted to do tonight. Building that lead, the right guys scored, got on the board for us. I really liked our game. They're an explosive team, and they've got a little bit of that mojo when they get in that spot where they can kind of throw caution to the wind and just try and create. And we can be a little smarter in that situation, but you learn as the playoffs go on, and you got to win all kinds of different ways. But what I liked is the majority of our game was really good tonight, and the right guys got on the board.
After last game, you did challenge your key leaders and scorers to come out and do something for you. What was it like to watch Tyler and Rupe kind of? Yeah. Both of them have had their chances, but to be able to finish today.
Yeah, well, critical, and it's hard not to wear that in the playoffs. Those guys want to win. They want to be difference makers. They're used to being difference makers. So, it's critical that those guys started to score, and we got, like I said, scoring from the right guys. I mean, Rupe looked like Rupe tonight. Miro, a couple big goals. So Tyler Sagan with a goal. So, the right guys got on the board for us.
I don't know if there's a wait to get Mason back in there, but he looked fresh.
Yeah, he did a great job.
I mean, he really looked like he was could just jump in. What is his role, and how can that help you guys going forward?
Well, he's involved. When you're playing against Mason Marchment, there's always something going on. But he's a big body, and this is a series where you've got to win puck battles, you got to win pinches against their defensemen, you got to hang on to pucks in the offensive zone and try and grind a little bit. And he's built for that. So nice to have him back.
Pete, you mentioned this morning, special teams need to be better. And on this night, you guys went out there, 2 power play goals, a big shorty, and shut them down on their power play.
Yeah. Yeah. And critical. Like I said, Pierre, I really liked 90% of our game. We made a couple mistakes down the stretch. They grabbed some momentum and obviously didn't handle it great. But, I thought, I think when I look at the tape tomorrow, I'm going to be really happy with almost everything we did.
Pete, you talked about during the regular season that this team found different ways to win a lot of different hockey games. How important were those lessons at this time of the year?
Yeah. Well, I think our group has some composure, and we've got a veteran presence there, and they recognize that not every game is going to be perfect in the playoffs. It's about winning. We had to win tonight. I mean, we couldn't go down 2-0 like we did in round one and try and crawl out of that hole going into Colorado. So it was an important win. We've been the best team on the road all year, I think, including the playoffs. So excited to get in there, and they're a great home team. So it should be a great matchup here.
Pete, naturally, they thought the hit on Jamie was a little on the high side. Yeah. What was your view of it live? And do you have any concern, even though there was no penalty, that they could look at it tomorrow?
I don't. I mean, that's why we have that rule for you to look at it at that time, So they went to the tape, and they all got together and looked at the different vantage points and decided it wasn't even a penalty. So, I think it's a dead issue.
Just to follow up on that, Pete, in the bigger picture, Janie is able to finish a check there on one of their top defensemen. Mm-hmm. The physical investment and wearing them down over the course of 7 games. I mean, obviously, when it's there, you want to see your guys take it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Benner's been outstanding in this playoff. I thought against Vegas, he did it, and he did it smart. He did it at the right times. He did it clean. But his presence physically, is having an impact, for us in this playoffs in a real positive way.
The one thing we haven't talked about, you limited their big guys. Right? Yeah. Their big guys weren't on the score sheet tonight. What was the key? Well,
I think the penalty kill, obviously. Otter made a couple big saves at key times when they did get looks. But again, I liked how we played. I liked how we defended as a 5-man unit. I liked how we attacked. I liked how we broke out. I think you have to, all those details. If you're gonna have, try and keep those guys contained at all, you're gonna have a lot of detail in your game in all those areas.